What's up, folks? Welcome back. My name is Sir Medieval, and today we're going to continue to talk about Bless. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be discussed. This is going to get into the meat and bones of the issues of the game. It's going to let it all out. I'm sorry, disclaimer, but we have to talk about this stuff. It's been in the dark for too long. It's just building by the day. There's just no other way to go about it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm not sure why this wasn't tested or looked at, but starting off, explain to me why it makes sense to cap out someone's frames and lock the amount of cores your computer can use while running this game. This game is incredibly outdated, optimization-wise, with DX9. I have people telling me it looks better and runs better for them on older rigs than our new powerful ones. It's a joke. And let's say you get past that and manage to get 60 frames outside of cities, fix your camera, and only get at least 20 to 30 drops of frames in the cities. You get in game and you find people duping. An issue that was in previous versions of the game and should have been 100% squashed before this game even touched down on these regions. There's so much going on right now. There was auto hotkey workarounds before the game came out. People have made taming bots. Like, where do we draw the line here? See what I mean, though? This feeling like it's the very first version of the Japanese client with the new combat slapped onto it. I don't understand this, and that's just the start. Apparently, people can change a lot, and I do mean a lot, of different elements about their gameplay via the config files that we have to go through just to get better frames in the game. There are screenshots of people unlocking the player trading now, and there's been video footage of people fly hacking, speed hacking. There's posts of people trying to hack in the 15v15 arena now, which is probably, you don't even need to do much in there because you could probably just change the config files and do it that way. This is out of control. There's a lot of stuff going on that I can't tell you in the config files that you can do because it's just that bad. Picture if you've ever played Mountain Blade. How you can export your character from other Mountain Blade mods, for instance, with the same stats and all, and you can import them into new mods or new games, but you can modify their stats and a lot of other things through the config files. That's the current rumor of some of the stuff that you're able to do in there right now. In Bless, if this stuff is supposed to be server-side, why does the flying hack even work? Why can't you actually change your gravity? You can apparently disable the chat sensor in there. You can enable trading from the looks of it, because that looks like our version in the screenshot. I don't get it. Then you've got being able to transfer items cross-server from the considered dead ones that can maybe get about 15 to 20 people in their plaza during prime time and have near impossible times finding a 15v15 arena match. There's no telling if they'll be able to get even close to filling the 70v70 arena when it comes out, or 70v70 battleground. This means a bunch of people can go into those servers, farm up a bunch of materials and whatever else you want and transfer them through the auction house. Enough said. Then you got the gathering thing happen, and someone went on a banning spree, and now the chili prices got tanked to be even less worth it. To add icing onto the cake, you didn't even remove the chilies from them, it seems like. I found out a day after that happened that I could still buy chilies that I sold to the vendor a day before for 59 copper a piece, or however much it costs. That means that anybody who did that can legitimately buy back all the thousands of chilies that they farmed at a reduced rate and use those to burst through the cooking levels or flood the market if they should choose. There was rumors that people didn't even get their gold removed, like they're just gold capped, but they still have all the gold from it. This is great proof that Neowiz has been great at addressing the issues and fixing them for some of stuff, but using the worst possible execution of these fixes you could possibly do. There's still rumors that there's a method of duping in the game still. And by the way, it's still going to affect the market for a long time. With this fixed pricing thing, and all those plus 15 weapons going up on the broker for like 2,000 gold for some reason, or plus 15 gear, I'm sorry, this game gates you out of some stuff. But don't be deceived into thinking there's still not a lot you can accomplish with enough gold in your pocket. There's so many issues with the game, it would take hours to go over them all. The servers seem to be getting worse by the day, even. It's crazy, less and less people are playing, and the server stability, quote-unquote, maintenances, often, but we get 3 server crashes in one day about 3 days ago. That also ended up in interrupting dungeon runs, by the way. One happened in the middle of a 15v15 arena prime time, and there was one about 50 minutes before the next server stability maintenance. You have any idea how silly this is? Oh, and we found out today that the PvP rewards from becoming the top ranked in PvP, top 50, were changed. There's a Reddit post popping up about how people are only getting a day's worth and a half of honor points. I personally got Grand Marshal and I only got like 2,000 honor and like 3,000 gem fragments, I think, or something. And What in the actual fudge? Like, from those 10,000 gem fragments people got for being the top rank in PvP in Hiren / the Tanara server, or even Union, you'd have to dish out a ton of gold to convert those, and then only end up getting like 15 to 20 shards max that are worth 1 gold each to the vendor. And then there's the honor points. Why would you go in there and change the rewards as cool as a flying mount for 7 days if you're either the first rank or within the 2nd to 13th rank in PvP? The titles people are supposed to get: Emperor for Hiren and then Ruler for Union. Where is the statue showing the top ranking PvPer? The box is filled with runes, etc. Who gave you this feedback? Who told you to change this? Because it clearly wasn't us. It's time to stop. It is time to stop. By the way, the queues are bugged again today. I didn't even try to queue up with my guild group because I just had a feeling something was going to go wrong today. Are we getting another day without getting a single 15v15 arena queue pop now? And where is the patch? Where are the changes that are supposed to come in on this Tuesday that we've been saving all these issues for? Okay, moving on to the next part though. My God, I absolutely hate the way you communicate with your emissaries and the community. Let's put aside the fact that there's probably thousands of tickets that have gone unanswered because we keep getting Reddit posts about it and people keep reporting it all across the board. I don't know what it is though. Around the time that No Man's Sky came out, it seemed like companies started developing this incredibly introverted mindset when it came to marketing and communication with their community. Don't want to show us anything about the game or answer questions, and it ends up hurting the game in the end as a result. The game has already gone into early access, yet we still have occurrences of the team dancing around our questions and outright avoiding to answer them. I had 3 simple questions for the teams that I PM'd 2 different staff members about, messaged them on Twitter, even emailed the Blessed PR team about, and this is exactly what I got. We would try our best to address them soon. Hey, thanks to the emissaries including you, we are aware of the issues you mentioned and shared them with our team. We would try our best to answer the progress on important issues that need to be fixed. And from Twitter, hey, we saw your email as well, and I'm asking the dev team about this and ask if there's any information we can share with you / the community. I'll let you know. Good God, it's like deja vu all over again. Yes, these are issues that need to be fixed, but those were questions. Those were my questions. I wanted to know, A, is the incredibly low drop rate of these loot tables the way the Blessed team intends for it to work? Not just on dungeons, but the world boss too. There's no incentive to spend an hour and a half killing that thing if all everybody's going to get is a gold bar or a single magic stone crystal. That is not an incentive at all. The most we've seen is someone get a legendary ring, I guess, and he's probably going to have to spend ages trying to get the other 2 pieces to complete that set bonus. I wanted to know that. B, do they think all of our rooms should break immediately on PvE death? Do they think it's reasonable? And C, is the dungeon difficulty, mainly of tourists, and the health pool / damage of these mobs intentional, and should it stay like this? And that's the response I got. These weren't answered until later on when I was already ready for bed and done trying to get answers for the night. I was just done caring. And then someone posted these questions, very same questions in the Emissary Discord general chat, and had them answered not even 2 minutes later. Well, if you wanted me to just post these questions in the public general emissary chat so that everybody else could get these answers too, why couldn't you just tell me that? Because obviously you all had this information, which is, by the way, these are absolutely terrible answers that we got. I'm not even going to jump into the fact that people have had their characters get deleted for submitting tickets for missing items, which has been all over Reddit, and people are starting to link screenshots of conversations that people are having, and that, which by the way was disregarded by one of the community managers because apparently people weren't providing quote-unquote proof, even though a ton of reports were coming in. And then another community manager, when he answered those questions, said this: we are handling those tickets as well. So that means you do know that the tickets are happening, that people are getting their characters deleted. You do know that is happening. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is coming from, but it needs to get fixed, because clearly this information is not under embargo or NDA like it was claimed yesterday. So the main thing I want to get into as well, the main bread and butter, is some of these issues too. Before I blow a fuse, the loot tables are 100% what they are intending to be right now. So until that armor smithing mat not dropping gets fixed, we'll have to bash our head against the pavement trying to grind for gear with the proper runes, and instead get gold bars and adventure points from the last boss until we strike luck. On top of that, I'm legitimately not sure if the dungeons are how they intend them to be right now in terms of difficulty. Batal is a cakewalk, and really the only one worth doing right now, because tourists, if you don't get a static group that always brings food buffs and or blue runes with gear, you're going to have a really tough time. If you die After the first boss, working your way up to the stairs to the second boss, also called the Gauntlet, mobs are spawning from the portal, right? And they start coming down the staircase. Mobs start spawning from the end of the portal, and they don't stop until they reach crazy numbers. This means if you fail there, if you die there, more than likely your dungeon is over. Unless you like the idea of dying repeatedly or spending Lumina to despawn those mobs. The mobs do way too much damage and have huge health pools. Even the last boss's orb that gets summoned and takes you at least 7 to 10 seconds to take down if you have multiple people on it sometimes. It's supposed to be a mob that you can take out in 3 seconds as long as you're paying attention. This also counts for the bosses and our damage, meaning that you'll get very, very close to hitting their enraged timers and having them wipe the floor with your entire group if you don't get that enraged timer at all. And thank God the ogres are out of the 15v15 arena, because apparently the runes breaking in PvP is intended. Which leads me to believe, because I never got a direct answer on this, that all of the runes having a guaranteed chance to break on death is intended too. I have to ask, have you played this game? I mean, do you have any idea how expensive it is to die and try to repurchase all of your runes? The marketplace is so saturated now, it's bad enough trying to make money, especially since there's little to no ways to make money in the open world. So this just makes it worse. Having to buy more food buffs, repair hammers, runes, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to do with this game right now. I feel like all the fight I had in me is left out the window. You cannot begin to imagine how agitated a lot of the players are that are continuing to play the game. It puts content creators and emissaries in general between a rock and a hard place. We have big portions of our community telling us they don't want us to support this game, telling us about all the issues they're having, and us feeling completely useless and completely helpless to support them in our roles. And the other half of them that wants us to keep going and keep showing positivity and keep stressing that the game has potential. Well, it's really hard to do that if even we are suffering from these vast issues and our friends are suffering from these vast issues, our guildies, probably even you if you're playing right now. How do we fight for this game if you don't give us the tools to fight with? We can't reassure people that everything's going to be alright, or this and that is being worked on, if you don't tell us anything. What is our role as emissaries even supposed to mean? Were we just scapegoats you used to promote your game? Or were you serious when you said that you wanted us to be the voice of the community and help you mold this game into something better? I'm not sure which is which anymore. I can tell you this. This is what a great deal of people in your community are saying. If you don't listen to what we told you in this video, then you are not listening to your community. Where Bless goes next, and what you do next means everything. I'm giving the game a few days, till next Tuesday at least, since that seems to be the day that all these fixes come in at once. Speaking of which, it shouldn't be like that. Some of these issues we didn't even bring up in this video, but did relay to you, that are very game-breaking and hotfix worthy. But anyway, I do want to thank you if you managed to watch this far. I truly appreciate it, and I also hope that you have a wonderful night or day. That's all I have to say for now, folks. I'll see you next time. Later.